Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Sonder Social. I am Malika. I will be leading you through the Sonder Social today. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat, so welcome back to the folks that are returning, and welcome to the newbies that are joining us. If you are new, go ahead and shout yourselves out in the chat. We'll give you a huge welcome. And just as a reminder, before we get started, make sure to set your chat to everyone. So this is that little blue toggle. Sometimes it's hosts and panelists. Make sure to just double check that it says everyone, because that's how we communicate with each other throughout the social. Keep in mind with the weekly setups, this is something that we love to do, and it's really going to go fast. So just keep that in mind, but it is a great productive hour, and I'm really excited to do it together for this Sunday. I'm having a little bit of Sunday scaries myself, so I'm very excited to set up our journals together. All right, so as a reminder of our guidelines, make sure to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promotions or spam, respect everyone's privacy, no hate speech or bullying. Any product and accessory questions or customer care inquiries, send that to hello@silkandsonder.com. And just remember, these Sonder socials are a way for us to connect with each other and really unlock the power of the journal and get the most out of kind of these pages together. So I know for these weekly setup socials, there's so many wonderful ideas that we get from all of you. So it's really a reflection of kind of all the creativity that goes into these journals, and we can kind of figure out what works best for us week to week. So with that, let's talk about opportunity. I am so excited. I love this theme. It's been really helpful to like reset my mind a little bit to think about the opportunities that are around us. I know it's been a tough year for me personally, so I kind of feel like it's in line. This month is really in line with the theme. Just personally, I feel like I've had a lot more opportunity to spend with my dear friends that are kind of sprinkled throughout the country. I've had a lot of girls' trips this month. I've been able to kind of feel like I'm learning more throughout like interview processes, just interviewing with companies. And I just kind of feel like there's just this sense of opportunity. And I've really been much more positive about kind of my future, which is great. And I love this month's theme. It just falls perfectly in line with my life. And I will give us kind of an overview of what we're going to do in this social together. So we'll first start out with the opportunity mind map, then we'll move into our rosebud thorn, and then we will close the social with all of our weekly setup pages and go section by section together. So I think I'm just reading the chat really quickly. We have some new folks joining who have brand new journals. Welcome, welcome. Excited to have you. And all right, so for this opportunity mind map, for folks who've never been to a social before, our weekly setup socials, we basically analyze kind of this month's theme and dive in a little bit deeper together. So we focus on a different focus area for each week. And so this week we're on week 3. So if you haven't done week 1 and week 2, no problem. You can always come back to it. You can screenshot this slide and kind of just do it in your own time. But if you have done your mind maps from your previous weekly setups, go ahead and take some time to find that mind map, and we will now work on the creative section. So for the creative opportunity mind map section, we're going to imagine that you have complete creative freedom and resources to work on a passion project. What would you create and why? How does this project reflect your deepest values and interests? And how do you envision sharing it with the world? So maybe think about kind of your passion projects, what excites you, what ignites you. Think about kind of what that is for you. And then imagine you have full control over the creativity of that project. You have unlimited resources. What would you do? So I thought about this for a little bit, and I really am drawn to design spaces. I've always loved interior design. I'm obsessed. I'm such a homebody. Everyone who knows me knows that. And I just love when things are designed really well. It just makes my brain calm down a little bit. So these are some pictures of kind of how I would love my spaces to be designed if I had full access to any resources, especially financial. I would love to really curate my home and make it so beautiful, like straight out of a magazine, is how I envision my home to be. So I really feel like that's how I would spend my like creativity. And hopefully, in terms of how I would share it with the world, is I would love to kind of create a business where it was focused on design, and these would be kind of my portfolio pictures. So that is kind of how I would take this. And yes, I will share the mind map, and I will give you all a few minutes to answer this question for yourselves, and we will regroup together in a few minutes before we dive into the rosebud thorn next. Thank you all so much for sharing. I was reading through, there's just so many fabulous ideas, whether it's starting a nonprofit, hosting like a LinkedIn Learning, um, doing some art project. There's just so much creativity that you all pour, and it's truly magnificent to see kind of all your passions and where your passions lie. It's really wonderful. So thank you all so much for sharing. And before we move on, I also realized I did not introduce the fabulous Bailey, who is with me here tonight. She is dialing in from Tennessee, and she's kind of answering any questions you might have in the chat, as well as just interacting with you all. So everyone say hi to Bailey. Um, but anyways, so we'll now move on to the rosebud thorn. So go ahead and turn the page. For this rosebud thorn, it is on, I think it's on 44, on page 44 for this week. And just as a reminder, our rose is something that's going really well. Our bud is something that's a new and emerging opportunity. And a thorn is a challenge that you've been struggling with. So for my rose, I always like to share my rosebud thorn. My rose is I'm really grateful for my friendships. And I just recently went on a wonderful girls' trip to Idaho, and it was in Sun Valley. It was my first time in Idaho, and it was so, so incredible. It was like straight out of a movie. It was just so much fun. So that was just really special, and I'll never forget that weekend. And just very good reset for the soul. So that was really, really fun. But my bud is, yes, I have an interview tomorrow, and I'm nervous, but also excited. So I hope that it goes well. My thorn is, I think in with that same regard, I think I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to exams or interviews, just being evaluated and judged, and the potential for rejection is just, it's really hard. So the anxiety that comes with that has been something I've been struggling with. I've always struggled with it, but it obviously manifests more when it comes to those moments of test. So that is kind of something that I've been struggling with. But I will all give you some time to tell me your rosebud thorn. So I'll give you all a few minutes and we will connect in a little bit. All right, thank you all for sharing your rosebud thorns. I think it's important to recognize kind of where we're feeling challenged, and remember to give ourselves a little bit of love whenever we're going through those challenges. So, thank you all for sharing. And now we'll move on to the weekly setup, what you all came here for. So, go ahead and turn the page to page 46 for this week in your October journals. And for this week, we want to feel. So think about kind of what that word is for how you want to feel. It can be kind of one word, it can be a phrase. Think about what that intention is you want to set for your week, and kind of write it down. So tell and also share in the chat once you have written it down, share it in the chat with us. Let us know how you want to feel this week. So we see patient, lighter, cozy, safe, more energetic, renewed, rested, balanced, progression, in tune, gratitude, calm, centered, less pain, in my power, organized, enjoyment, free, moving forward, calm, productive, and accomplished. I'm emotionally healed. These are all really, really great feelings of how you want to feel for the week. So, thank you all for kind of setting that intention. Here are some other adjectives if you are feeling stuck. But I also think that whatever is being written in the chat is far better. So thank you all for sharing in the chat. All right, so we'll now move on to the box right underneath the how you want to feel, which is the weekly major 3 goals. So you can set this up however you'd like to. Sometimes you can set up like any 3 goals that you have that are top of mind. Maybe you want to structure it so you have 3 goals that match that intention that you set for how you want to feel. Maybe it's certain goals that you thought you could accomplish last week that you didn't get to accomplish this week. So go ahead and add that in there if you feel like you want to make it a priority for this week as well. You can also kind of set it up where you have 3 like action items. It could be if you want to have like 3 things that you want to do throughout your day, throughout your week. There's so many different ways to take this. So I'll give you all some time to write out your major 3 goals. And I will connect with you all in a little bit, and then we'll go over the to-do section next. right. Thank you all for sharing some goals you have for the week. We'll now move on to the to do section, which is to the box to the left of the box you're just working on. And I'll walk through a few different examples here. So, as you can see, there's a lot of different ways people take the to do section. And of course, it really ranges on what works best for you. Honestly, most of the time, I just have a bulleted list, and I categorize it based on kind of what section of my life it pertains to. So it's a little organized. But if you want, you can take it in this like need, want, hope to do list. So you can kind of identify like what do you want versus what do you need, and kind of get your dreams on there as well. Maybe you have some for your hopes and dreams. So you can definitely structure it in that way. You can see some examples on the bottom. And then you could also kind of make it fun. So you have a based on the day itself, and you can separate it out. I like this kind of use of making it into triangles. So you have something, your to dos are organized by the day. You can also make this into a bingo board, which is really fun. I like this option. They wanted to focus it on cleaning, so they completely repurposed this section to make it into a bingo board, but you can also make it into like a to-do bingo board. And then somebody put this as like a not to do section. So what do you not want to do? Maybe you feel like you're in a negative headspace or you're scrolling on TikTok too much. So kind of things not to do is also a way to take it. You can also put kind of things that you need to do for yourself, your home, your work. Here is another example. It's the Eisenhower matrix, where it helps you prioritize what's urgent, what's not urgent, what's important, what's not important. And then it helps you kind of identify what you need to do, what decisions you need to make, what you can delegate to someone close to you, and what you can delete or remove from your life. So that's a great way to kind of help identify priority to your to-dos. So there's a couple different ways that you can set this up. Obviously, this doesn't capture everything that you can do. I see Bailey has a great idea where she uses a section for her appointments. So maybe you write out your appointments for the week. Sometimes I put, when I have my Sonder socials, when I have my big meetings, when I have XYZ, I just put it in this section as well sometimes, just as a reminder, because I look at these pages pretty often. So there's so many fun ways to do this. I feel like you can definitely take it in any direction that works best for you, to help you accomplish your to-dos. So I'll give you all some time to set up your to-dos, and then we'll move on to the habit and activity section next. All right. Thank you all for filling out your to-do list. We'll now move on to the habit and activity section next. So this section is a great way to map out your habits that you want to track for the week. Here are some great examples. People sometimes omit putting in their goal, or sometimes they keep it, sometimes they don't. I like this example on the upper left. This is almost like a night routine of kind of things you want to do before you go to bed, which is a great way to kind of set this up. Maybe you want to have a morning routine in here, an evening routine. Maybe it's something in particular to like your physical health. So here you can see this example in the middle has kind of their weight and puts in their kind of metrics that they are tracking, and are tracking, color coding it by whether it increased, decreased, stayed the same. They're measuring kind of their fruit and veggie intake. They're measuring their alcohol intake, everything that they're prioritizing for their physical health and well-being. Here we have like other examples. This is mine, where you just put in some habits that I want to track. Maybe I feel like I need to sleep a little bit better, so taking naps throughout my day really helped. At that point, I remember when I was tracking these habits in particular, I was waking up at 5 a.m. for work every morning, so taking a nap was a must because I had no energy. Making sure that I did that was really important. So there's just a lot of different things that you can do for these habit trackers. And remember, it's not about filling out every single circle every day. It's truly just doing the best that we can. So as we go through our week and we fill out our habits, just remember, if you didn't do it one day, that doesn't necessarily mean that you failed. Okay. We need to give ourselves a little bit of grace. We're all human, and we're just doing the best that we can. So keep that in mind as you fill it out. So I'll give you all some time to set up your habit trackers, and then I'll connect with you in a little bit. right. Thank you all for setting up your habit trackers. We'll now move on to the meal plan section. So here are the next few sections are heavily repurposed. So, you're welcome to kind of use it for its intended purpose if the meal plan tracker really works for you. I typically repurpose this section like a lot of you folks do, and use it for different things depending on my week. So I'll walk through a couple different examples. As you can see here, we have a place where you can put your daily affirmations. You can use it for like a food log. You can use it to reflect on the 7 types of rest. Maybe you want to prioritize a different domain each day. Maybe you have a big chore of cleaning up the whole house and you want to separate it zone by zone. You can do it that way. Maybe you're preparing for a week-long trip, and you want to set up your kind of your outfits for the week. You can definitely use this as like a wardrobe planner. You can use this as a place for extra reflection and journaling. So there was a period of time where I would use this in the evening and just reflect on my day. This is a great place to put appointment trackers. If you have appointments throughout the week, you can put your appointments and the times that they're at. There's so many fun ways to use this section. There's a ton of examples on the left here as well. So I'll give you all some time. Let us know in the chat how you use this section. And I'll give you all some time to set up your meal plan sections. I think a lot of folks kind of use this in different ways. So it's really fun to see kind of how you use this section. It's truly just like a blank box, so that's Monday through Sunday. So it's been really nice to kind of have this space for us to really kind of get the most out of our journals and plan our week in the best way possible. right. Thank you for setting up your meal plan sections. I'll walk us through the mind body health plan section and the shopping list section next. So, the mind body health plan is really a self care plan to help get you through your week. So, it can be anything that is going to help kind of make you feel that you are taking care of yourself. For me, I often put my workout classes. I am in Santa Barbara this week. I'm home. So I will not be attending workout classes this week as I am not in San Francisco where I normally am. So I will probably not use a section for workout classes, but rather I will kind of come up with a self care plan that's a little bit more kind of cozy and less active. So that's how I intend to use it. But think about kind of how you want to structure it. I love this example on the top left where it's a motivation Monday, talk it out Tuesday, walking Wednesday, thoughtful Thursday, frustration free Friday, sassy Saturday, self care Sunday. I feel like that's such a fun way to make it fun. And you can kind of do different things each day, sorry. And this is a great way to kind of just make sure you're giving yourself that little treat at the beginning or at the end of your day, whatever it may be, so that you feel like you are taking care of yourself throughout our busy, busy week. So that's the Mind Body Health Plan. And then here is a shopping list. So the shopping list is obviously you can use this for maybe you have a grocery list or maybe you have something that you have a lot of purchases you have to make, but oftentimes I don't. So I repurpose this section like many of you. Sometimes I put a motivational quote or a sticker there. Sometimes I put my extra if I need a place to add more focus or intentions. When I have a trip, I always put my packing list in this section. You can use this for a bingo board. I know Margot really likes a bingo board. There's so many fun ways to make this section kind of work for you. Maybe you want to write out your kind of morning routine or evening routine here. I love this example here where it says a mini break from work. I know typically like if you have like a corporate job, you're like stuck at your desk all day and maybe we forget to take a break. So adding that in our calendar and then having a couple ideas of what to do during that break would make us remember to take those breaks and give us some time to rest. So those are a couple different examples for you all for the Mind Body Health Plan and the shopping list. So I'll give you all some time before we work on that last little box on the page, which is the I am loving section. All right. We'll now move on to that last remaining section, which is the I am loving section. So for this section, I want us all to just kind of take a deep breath wherever we're sitting. Maybe pull your shoulders back, maybe even close your eyes for a little bit and think about what you're truly loving. We started this social, this hour together, reflecting on our rosebud thorn, and we reflected on our rose from the past week. But think about kind of something that you're loving. Is there something that's going particularly well? Is there something that you feel has shifted for you? Recognizing kind of what we're truly grateful for or what we're loving is really important to just kind of shift our perspective a little bit. So once you feel like you've recognized what you're loving, it's really just write it down and share with us in the chat what you are currently loving. I know I am loving keeping my phone away. I don't usually get the opportunity to have time where I can step away from technology just because work is oftentimes on the computer and on my phone. And I feel like if I don't do that, then I'm constantly on my phone. So I tend to keep my phone separate from just like my day to day. Sometimes, like yesterday, for example, I had dinner with my parents and I kept my phone in the car. I felt like it was nice to just kind of detach and make sure I have some time to disconnect from technology. So that's what I'm currently loving. And I think I am seeing in the chat, there's a lot of people that are loving kind of small communities, the fall weather. John Oliver, do not disturb mode on the phone, resting and recuperating. That's just so many wonderful things that we are currently loving, and it's lovely to kind of get a little glimpse of what you're currently enjoying in your life. So thank you all so much for sharing. And now, unfortunately, our time has come to a close. It's kind of crazy. This hour just really, really, really goes by fast. So thank you so much for spending this hour with me and Bailey. Make sure to share your weekly pages in Sonder Club. As you can tell, I use a lot of examples that you all produce. So make sure to share that in the club with us. We love looking at your pages, so make sure to share that. And also, just as you know, there is a beta Sonder AI life coach product. So make sure to check that out. It's really cool. I love looking at mine. It's like tailored, just helpful tidbits to help me get through my day or my week. And it's been so instrumental in helping me just kind of come up with some affirmations, like habits to track. Just reading about kind of how I should go about my life has been really, really helpful. So take advantage of that. And then also we have the referral program going on. So if you have a friend that would love Silicon Sonder, make sure to take advantage of the referral program. If you're not on an annual subscription already, make sure to check that out. You can definitely save a lot of money and unlock exclusive perks. And then also we have that feedback survey. And then finally, Bailey has put in the YouTube link in the chat. So make sure to check that out if there's any socials that you might have missed this month or past months and you're curious about other socials, go ahead and check that out. That houses all of our past content for you all. So thank you all so, so much. Oh, I also have my playlist, so you can scan that code or I can share this with you. Here we go. I'm popping it in the chat right now. This has a ton of instrumental music. If you have more journaling that you want to do this evening, you can definitely hop into that playlist. But thank you all so, so much for spending this hour with me. I hope to see you next time at my next social. So thank you all and have a great rest of your week. I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
trip